AFND presents Mercs and Monsters is an adult podcast. If you compared us to movie ratings, we'd be rated R. See episode notes for details. Okay, welcome to episode 2. I'm Tony. I am the GM for this Rift's adventure. This is Nicole.
Hi, everybody. It's Nicole. I'll be playing Ash, the Psy Stalker mercenary.
Last we left off, Ash got some new equipment and got all set up for a job in Merctown. Ash met up with the person he's supposed to be protecting, named Jimmy. Was a male quick flex merchant. Talked really fast because the whole species kind of is like that. Everything kind of like Solarians from Mass Effect. Everything's go, go, go.
That's a good comparison.
Mm-hmm. So the Jimmy and his 10 other employees, I didn't cover too much in the first episode because I didn't have my notes. Because I'm prepared. His employees, you think are mostly human, but you know they're at least humanoid. They do all have light, full body armor, but it covers most of their features, though. Your Ash was tasked by the Tennessee headhunters to escort Jimmy and his employees west back to the Mississippi, and then take a boat ride north, and the day journey to the small kingdom of Orisol from the west shore of the river. So once you get from point A to point B in the Mississippi, you go another day's drive west to the kingdom of Orisol. Jimmy drives a modified pre-riffs pickup, towing a modified pre-riffs trailer. Usually stores his gear that he collects to sell elsewhere. And his crew is all armed with light mega damage environmental body armor and light laser rifles.
And also now towing my flunky Kimmel.
Yes.
The level 2 gunfighter.
Yes. So it's supposed to be overall a 2-day drive to get there. Or 2 days total, driving there, taking a ferry up the Mississippi, and then driving to Orisol. But in day 1, on the way to the Mississippi, Ash encountered a truck full of bandits who tried shooting you out of the sky. They failed. You killed most of them with explosives or blunt force trauma. And the last surviving bandit surrendered, and classic Merc style offered his services. And so now he works for you. You looted the truck and what was available, and have Kimmel loaded up into Jimmy's truck, and you guys are on your way. It doesn't take too much longer for you, probably like a couple more hours, if that, to get to the Mississippi. And you're patrolling in the sky, right, Ash?
Yes.
Okay. Your sensors tell you before you see it that there are humanoid movements ahead, and you shortly after your sensors pick it up, there's like multiple potential targets ahead of you, then like maybe like one vehicle. But you get closer to the river and you start to see a pretty large dock. You hear over your radio, Jimmy tells you, he says, the large harbor is controlled by the Pack of Solutions. They're a private organization ran by Crackletooth named Dancha.
Pack of Solutions? Okay. Have I heard anything about this outfit?
Yeah, they're good people. The Crackletooth, Danacha, he's a mercenary. He's been around for a while, and his brother owns the other ferry that's where you're presuming you're going to be driving to.
Okay. So that's what my radar was picking up, was all this movement at the docks?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you guys get there without any issue. Do you go ahead of the truck to announce your arrival, or just kind of stick with Jimmy now that you're near the harbor here.
I'll ask Jimmy if he's expected. Roger. And I'm not going to fly ahead.
Okay. So just that happens. They roll up, and the truck is, when you get close enough and you're kind of like flying low, you can tell that there are people with armaments leveled at you guys just in case. It's not uncommon. It's Rift's Earth. So
yeah, it's just a simple precaution. I would really expect nothing less.
right. When you guys get there, Jimmy gets out and he goes and makes the deal. The person that approaches him is, his name is Bryas, and he's a wild side stalker.
Oh.
He doesn't, his helmet's removed. He doesn't seem like he's too worried about being in danger. Seems like he recognizes Jimmy. And so they talk for a bit, and just overhearing the conversation, you hear that Jimmy's ferry is moored here. He probably stays here. He brings his ferry here often, either here or at the Brothers north of here.
Okay.
So Bryas accepts the payment from Jimmy, and Jimmy motions for his crew to load the truck and the trailer onto the ferry. And then Jimmy comes up to you and says, okay, well, you'll be protecting us on the ferry while we ride up the Mississippi. It shouldn't be too long of a ride, but we'll stay the night at the other harbor.
Okay, roger that. Is there any lore on whether Psy Stalkers can sense each other?
You have sonic abilities, so I mean, you can sense that. I mean, you definitely recognize him.
Yeah, but on a visual level, though, right?
Right. You recognize, just looking at him, that he's a side stalker. You notice that he does like kind of send you some sidelong glances. He senses you. He senses your sonic abilities. I'm gonna say no. He can't sense that you're specifically a side stalker, and he can't see you because you're in your armor.
Okay.
Kimmel asks you, you want me just to post guard, boss?
We'll take shifts so both of us can get some rest.
Yeah, sounds good. He helps guide the truck in and starts helping the crew batten things down and get ready to push off.
Okay. Are they leaving right now?
Yeah, as soon as the truck gets loaded up.
Oh, okay. And then we'll spend the night at the other dock.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So just have Kimmel help them load up and get settled.
As the truck's getting loaded up, and you're helping too, you can feel the tremor on the dock, and you turn around and see this 9-foot tall, kind of Godzilla-like looking, like a dark green, like think camo green skinned lizard man. It's a grackle tooth. You assume this is the Danacha that owns this particular harbor.
Oh, okay.
And he has a massive cigar, like giant Cuban cigar, that's just puffing out of the side of his mouth, and he's just stacked. And he goes, "Jimmy, not leaving before you say hi, are ya?" And Jimmy's like poke his head, like, Danacha, I have things to do and places to go and things to sell. You know how it is. He goes back to working on what he's doing, and the grackle tooth. Danacha just kind of scoffs. He's never been one for kindly talk and socializing, have you? And he looks at you and he says, well, you're new. Didn't think you could afford something this expensive.
I don't know about him being able to afford whatever it is he can afford. That's not my business. But I am here to make sure he survives it.
Yeah, he'll need it. I heard there's rumor that there's Haroon pirates on the waters lately.
Recent?
Yeah.
Do you know anything about their outfit right now? Their numbers, their weaponry, anything?
No, I haven't been out on the river myself lately. Report was that there was at least one boat of them. The Haroon pirates are nasty. Not too common up here in the Mississippi. Kind of cowards. They stick to the oceans where they can run away easy. They do like to use harpoon weaponry, though, and some other nasty mega damage weaponry. They can pretty easily put some holes in this tuna boat that Jimmy has. You hear Jimmy? Not a tuna boat.
What do your recent reports say?
They're chasing. It was yeah, like stops to think for a minute as he puffs on a cigar. There's at least one boat with maybe about 10 of them. They're chasing down one of our trading vessels, and he kind of gestures his little fishing boat, like your average fishing boat with a little trolling motor.
Oh, okay.
Because they're just out trying to get some food for the afternoon, and the Haroon pirates chased him down but let him go. Not really anything of worth with this tiny boat, so they must have been bored.
Just hassling them for sport, possibly.
Or slaves. Haroon pirates are big into slaves.
You say that they're cowardly. Does that mean that they might be dissuaded from attacking just by my presence?
Unlikely. I say cowardly because I've never fought them, and they haven't come into my harbor, probably because they know that I would blow them to shit. And he kind of like gestures back, and you can see the dome on the top of the main building. Now that he's pointed it out, with your expertise and your skills, it's a safe bet to assume that that's a turret up there.
Oh, okay. One that would like pop up out of the dome and swivel around.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
everything that I've heard, they like to take weaker looking people, and I kind of like gestures to Jimmy. They're easy pickings for slaves.
Can I tell that he's clearly referencing the human nature of these people?
Well, it's more of kind of like he's picking on Jimmy.
Oh, okay. But yeah, Ash will look at the turret, and
he is very full of himself, but he's not being racist.
Right. He's just giving him a hard time.
Yeah.
Ash will give him a feral, dangerous smile.
And you're still in your full suit. Have you taken your helmet off?
Can you? Can I just take a helmet off?
In your power armor, I would say yes, because it's a light power armor. Normal power armor is like and like would open up, and your head's actually in the chest. But
mine's more like Iron Man style, yes. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I would say you can take your helmet off. That's why you can't wear your environmental body on either, because your power armor is almost like just like a normal suit.
Right. That makes sense. I guess I kind of assumed that in any face-to-face interaction where I didn't feel a lot of danger, I would automatically take my helmet off.
Okay. That's fine. Well, we can assume that from here on out. Okay. From what you know about, do you have any lores?
I do. Demons and monsters, fairies, and creatures of magic, and magic.
Let's do
no DB lore though.
Yeah, I would say the Haroon pirates, I would say is under DB lore. I'm gonna say from what you've heard before with rumors and such, coincides with what Danacha here is saying. They're slavers. They do pack a punch. They themselves are also mega damage creatures, and their bigger ships are definitely dangerous. And from what you would understand, their bigger ships, which are usually out at sea, could blow you out of the sky pretty easily. But from what Danacha is saying, it's not one of their bigger ships.
Yeah, otherwise it probably wouldn't fit on this river.
The river, so the Mississippi River in Rift's Earth is huge. As in, like, there's some parts of the Mississippi where you can't see the other side.
Okay.
It's widened significantly after the rifts came, after the cataclysm.
At some point, miles or more wide.
Right.
Okay.
So most seafaring vessels can come on the Mississippi.
But they don't.
Not always.
Generally, for these particular pirates.
No, it's in these waters. Dunachus hasn't seen them.
Keep that in mind. I would suppose that being, less than a day's journey away from Merctown, I would have heard about them or their like before.
You've heard of them. You just haven't encountered them yourself.
Okay.
So you've had any reason to go researching them? Like you haven't had too many jobs specifically on the Mississippi River or jobs that have anything to do with the Haroon pirates or slaves.
That's just a very general knowledge.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you guys finish up and Dinacha tells you to keep your eye on the little one and make sure his boat doesn't get too many holes in it. The pirates aren't the only things out in the water. I don't know how often you're out in the sea, but some things lurk beneath too.
I assumed. I haven't been out this way very often. You want to give me a quick rundown of the common things I should be looking out for?
Well, apparently now, Haroon pirates. There's also bandits, water dinosaurs. Those are down there sometimes. I've seen a whole ship be eaten just off my dock. I don't know what the damn things are called. Then he puffs on his his cigar thoughtfully. Well, shit. I mean, any sort of manner of things can shoot you from the shores too. So,
My head on a swivel. Got it.
yeah. The worst part about being on the Mississippi is that you can be attacked from any degree.
Luckily, I have the advantage of flight.
Hope that works out well for you.
I do too.
He takes a cigar out and kind of like cheers you with it, and then wanders off.
I'll nod at him and wander the direction of my charge. Do I sense any psychic energy coming from him at all?
From Dinacha?
Yeah.
Nope. No sense in anything.
Okay. Do I sense any psychic energy in the area?
Aside from Bryas, the Sky Stalker, no.
Okay.
You see a myriad of different people working here. A lot of different DBs, but none of them are exhibiting any psionics or magic.
Okay. Now that I have my helmet off, is the other Psy Stalker? I'll look around for the other Psy Stalker to see if he's looking at me or overly interested.
That's a 19 for his perception. He locks eyes with you. I'm gonna say he was eyeballing you the entire time because he could smell the sonic energy on you. And so he does lock eyes with you. He registers what you are and then dismisses you. Kind of like he sees that you're not a threat per se, and you're also one of the civilized ones. So it's kind of like you've turned from the old ways kind of thing.
Snobby like a wood elf.
Yeah. You can sense supernatural beings too, can't you?
Yes, I believe I can. I can sense psychic and magic energy and supernatural beings. Yep.
Okay, so Dinacha is a supernatural being, and there are several other supernatural beings in the area as well.
Dinacha is?
Yep.
Supernatural?
Rackletoofs are fucking thick boys.
I thought that. So are all DBs supernatural or
No.
only some supernatural?
No.
Or are they not supposed to be supernatural at all?
No, only some of them. Not all of them are supernatural.
Okay.
Jimmy, for example, is a quick flex alien. He's a DB. He is not supernatural.
Just an alien.
He's just an alien.
Are all grackle tooths supernatural?
Do you have DB lore?
No.
Then you don't know.
Okay.
You've been on one job. You're not that socialized yet.
Yeah, but I graduated headhunter school. Wouldn't I learn about some stuff there?
Well, if you don't have the skill, no, you didn't take that class. You dropped out of DB class.
Screw DBs. I'm not here for them. Oh gosh. Okay.
Actually, scratch that. I think there is in the Tennessee Headhunters Academy. I think there is a Grackltooth there, and you remember specifically that he was a supernatural being too. So
at least every Grackltooth that Ash has encountered has been supernatural.
yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
And everyone that you've met so far has also been fucking massive and built like freight trains.
Okay.
And as liked explosives. You get that from Danacha with his big fuck off turret on top of the building.
That they like go boom.
Yeah, they like the big toys.
Okay. So, what other supernatural beings am I sensing?
Can you pinpoint and identify them? Because otherwise, they're inside the building. Can't spot them.
Sensitivity to the presence of a supernatural being who is not using its powers is 50 feet per level of experience. So that gives me currently 100 feet of sensing a supernatural being not using its powers.
Yeah.
Sensitivity to powerful supernatural beings or magic or psionic powers being expended through spell weaving or psi attacks is 1,000 feet plus 100 per level.
Okay, we'll say inside the building, you can sense a supernatural being using an ability. And between point A and point B, like entering the harbor and getting to the boat, you sensed, you count at least 3 or 4, not including Danacha, but you didn't see them.
Yeah, they're in the building that direction.
They're in the building or they're suited. There's at least one that was humanoid, but had environmental body armor on.
Okay. Yeah, it doesn't let me pinpoint them, but I do have bonuses if I'm tracking them.
Right.
Is Jimmy ready to go?
Yeah, it doesn't take too much longer to get the boat prepped. He radioed ahead and told them that he was coming. And so by the time he was discussing everything with Bryce and making a payment, the boat was already ready to go and leave.
Oh, okay.
They unlashed it. And so Jimmy's crew then rolled and loaded the truck. And basically all Jimmy's crew was doing was making sure the truck and the trailer don't move anywhere, slip off the boat or something, making sure it's secure. Because it's just sitting on top of the ferry.
Okay.
The ferry is fairly small. It's just big enough to be able to hold a small vehicle plus the trailer.
Oh, okay. So it's not like we've been waiting for more and more people to gather on the ferry for it to leave. It's just us.
This is Jimmy's ferry.
Oh, okay.
It's Jimmy's boat.
It's Jimmy's boat. Belongs to Jimmy.
Yeah.
All right.
It, like the truck and the trailer, look to be modified and reinforced, and you get the feeling, especially after what Danacha said, that it's probably been fixed more than once. It's probably gotten the shit beat out of it from traveling up and down the Mississippi, but it does look like it hasn't been originally built recently. The boat's probably also a pre-Rifts relic that was modified with mega damage plating and what have you.
Okay. Seek out Jimmy and ask him what he encountered last time he went up the Mississippi this way and how long it's been.
He tells you, well, last time I came down the Mississippi was to come to Merctown to sell my goods. We were accosted by bandits.
Just bandits?
Yes. Kind of like the ones that you bombed.
How many?
Probably 10. My crew set the ship on fire, so I couldn't tell you the exact numbers.
Fair enough. Just trying to gather more information on what we might encounter. I am going to start my aerial patrol.
All right.
Radio me if you need me.
Sounds good. So about an hour of puttering along, much like the pickup truck puttering along the ground, you easily outpace the boat.
Right.
It moves slow and just it honestly putters. That bass boat that Danachas was mentioning probably moves significantly faster than this freaking ferry does. However, as you guys are going along, like I said, about an hour, going upstream, and your radar picks up a vessel moving south towards you guys.
I'll go scout ahead and see what it's all about.
You go scout ahead, and you very quickly see. You haven't ever tracked it, but it is preloaded on your suit schematics because you're using your power armor.
Mm-hmm.
These are the Haroon.
These are the pirates.
Yep. Does it say anywhere that your power armor has radar for like underwater?
Underwater.
I don't think it does. I don't think you have a lot of water capabilities.
I would have to look specifically at the Titan description in the book.
I'm gonna say you don't.
I mean, it still functions underwater, right?
Yeah, it functions underwater.
But there's no like underwater radar type thing.
I would say your radar will work underwater if you go underwater. Otherwise it's pinging off the surface of the water.
It's not sensing anything that's underneath the water when I'm above it.
Right.
Okay. How many vessels and how many pirates am I sensing there?
You're picking up one boat and looks like 10 humanoids from what your sensors are picking up. Very Iron Man-y across your screen. Seeing like little circles and dashes with like the name Haroon Pirate. Bad guy number 1. Bad guy number 2.
Do they look like they're on an intercept course with Jimmy's vessel?
Yes.
You know what we do for things like this? Missiles.
I'll just say blow them up, probably.
Missiles is what we do. We need to decide what kind of missiles. I'm going to do a short range plasma missile. How many can I fire at once?
You can fire. Well, it should say on your power armor because there's a certain number of volleys you can do. You can shoot one. I think it's 1, 2, 4, or 6. Your short range missiles are on your wings. You have 3 on each wing.
Don't have the stats for volleys.
How many missiles do you have?
I have 5 plasma mini missiles and 5 short range plasma missiles.
Seems like more than you should have.
Probably
have extra on Jimmy's truck. Let me look up the power armor. Flying Titan 272. For you, that's page 272, main riffs book.
Ultimate edition?
Yep. Wing rockets. You can have 6 mini missiles or 3 of the larger short range missiles that can be mounted on each wing. So it depends on what you're. Yeah, maybe fire 1 missile at a time in volleys of 2, 3, or 4. I mean, it depends on how many missiles you want to fire, honestly. Launch however many you want. 3 or more, and they can't dodge it.
3 it is.
So they have to roll with impact and or shoot them down.
So in my educated mercenary opinion, how many missiles do I think it might take to just make this boat dead in the water if they all hit?
1 missile could do it. It depends on if you hit the engine compartment. So if you want to scuttle it, 4 could probably do it. It's not a very big boat. It would have to have some super superior mega damage plating.
Let's go with a volley of 3 for now.
Okay. The ship is going to try to dodge it. The captain is. So you need to roll an attack. Meanwhile, the rest of them are going to try to shoot it down.
That is a 3 on the first missile, which I think is a miss.
If you're shooting a volley, it's 1 attack.
Oh, it's just 1 attack for all of them.
Yep.
Well, there goes those 3 missiles.
So you fire You fire a volley across their bows, a warning shot to fuck off.
I just have not had good luck with missiles ever for this character. Ever. Pretty frustrating.
So they know you're there now. They're just booking along though. I'm gonna say, I'm assuming you're still well beyond their reach though. They haven't retaliated with missiles, so they don't have missile armaments, but they know you're there.
So it doesn't, their lack of response tells me they probably don't have any way to shoot me out of the sky other than just guns.
Yeah,
Okay. We still in free play?
more or less. Yeah, I'm gonna give you a couple of rounds to potentially do something before they are upon Jimmy's vessel, or at least within shooting range.
All right. Let's go ahead and shoot my last two short range missiles. I know I'm not having good luck with them, but they're my best weapon against this boat right now.
All right.
That is another 3.
It's gonna be a mess. Missiles implode and detonate and make the Mississippi River a little bit deeper.
I'm so pissed right now.
Massive what kind of missiles were they?
Short range plasmas.
Yeah, so massive steam clouds are dotting the Mississippi River and rising into the sky. And they keep on trucking. Last missile, so I'll just put away this book so I don't have to shoot them down now.
I actually have room. Would have room for one more, which will be one of my plasma minis.
Okay.
You said I can have 6, right?
Of the
3 on each.
Yes, but you had your short range.
Mm-hmm.
Short range missiles are bigger and they take up more room.
Oh, okay.
Are you going to post up in the sky and start firing on them?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to try to stay out of small arms range and use my long gun.
Okay, what's the range on your gun?
My long gun is 2,200 feet.
Holy shit.
Wilkes 567 long gun.
Oh, those ranges are not long enough. I'm gonna fucking tell you that. Okay. Let's say go ahead and do a round of attacks.
Now I have my damage listed as 1 to 5 d6. So I'm gonna say that that's probably 1 round or a burst, right?
You can probably adjust it from 1d6 to 5d6. There's probably an increment for each mega damage.
Depending on what though?
What range you set it at?
Oh, the range?
Or not range, but the range of damage. Because you also got to take into account that it's a mega damage thing. So if it's shooting through SDC structures, it won't stop at SDC structures. And if it shoots, like say you do 15 points of mega damage to something that has 1 mega damage, it will shoot through that and still have another 14 points of mega damage to keep traveling.
Okay, so all of these guns are automatically mega damage?
I think all of your guns are mega damage. I don't think you invested in any SDC guns.
Okay.
Your prey is almost always mega damage, so that makes sense that you only have mega damage equipment.
Yeah, I suppose. All right. Attack number 1. Can I see a captain-ishy person?
You cannot see the captain.
Okay.
So looking through your scope, I'm assuming the gun has a scope. You see the Haroon pirates running about, and they look all sci-fi piratey, like weird head adornments and wraps on. They look like Pirates of the Caribbean, but if they're in space. The Haroon are a stocky race with rough, almost scaly looking skin, and they also have a set of 5 eyes. 2 short eye stalks can bend to look up and down and backwards without moving their head, and they're kind of like on the sides of their head. They're kind of like thick little eye stalks that move around creepily. Yeah, and they're fucking disgusting. So their face is kind of looks like a pug's face. So it looks like their face is kind of smushed.
Uh-huh.
So like looks like they kind of have a muzzle, but no nose. Does that make sense? And their teeth are like Brackus from Mortal Kombat, all sharp,
Oh,
carnivorous teeth.
like they're filed to points or
Mhm.
something.
Yeah,
Okay.
I have a picture, but I'm trying to describe it because we're on the audio format.
Right. Okay, interesting.
They're fucking ugly. And then you see they're equipped with weapons, and they're kind of like looking out, like trying to get a bead on you. It looks like they have harpoon guns, and it looks like they're carrying some sort of energy shrouded tridents.
Okay. Um,
But you can't tell if there's a captain or any sort of authority among them.
I think I'm still gonna go for scuttling the ship. With my mechanic and with all my mechanics and my engineering and all that, would I know like relatively where the engine should be?
You can roll your mechanics engineering at a minus 40% because it's alien technology.
Dude, I only have 40% mechanical engineering.
And then you better roll fucking good, babe.
Guess I better roll fucking good. What does that mean? Like an odd one?
Yeah.
There's always a chance. Those dice have failed me already tonight. So I'm going to switch here. And hopefully it's not ironic. They both fail me. Knock on wood. Here we go. 27 is not an odd one.
It is not. Pretty sure our table isn't actually wood either. Isn't it like some sort of fake wood?
No, this is a real oak table. Don't be mean.
All right. So, anyways, you aren't sure. The ship is a vaguely normal shaped ship. The design is definitely different. You would wager that the engine compartment is somewhere in the center, probably sitting a little bit below water, but you couldn't be sure. You've never been on a Haroon pirate ship.
Shoot where I think the engine might be.
You can certainly try. You'd be kind of, because you're up high, you're advantageous to that. So you'd be shooting like into the deck, trying to like shoot through the deck and into the engine compartment. You're hoping.
Let's do it.
Roll the strike. So you're making a, well, apparently you failed, right? The look on your face says you failed, regardless of what I was about to say.
I rolled a 1.
That's
I'm gonna go pick a different set of dice.
all right. While you're doing that, I'm gonna elaborate what you just wasted. So the shot would have been a called aim shot, so it took 3 attacks. Because you're specifically aiming and shooting for a very specific point. You would have gotten several bonuses because it's an aimed called shot, but natural one's natural one. You done goofed.
The dice gods do not like me tonight. So
You do not have the favor of Dice Christ.
again,
Same thing?
yes.
Okay, so called shot, I think you get a plus 2. Let me double check.
Okay. Does it depend on the gun or my skill?
No, called shot's something that you can do. Anybody can do a called shot or aimed shot.
Aimed, yes, that's the one.
Called shot's targeting something specific, which takes another attack. So at aimed called shot, you get plus 2. And you're aiming at
I
something
have my
specific.
aim/burst. I get a +3 with the long gun for aimed shots.
Okay, so that's on top of you're already getting a plus 2 with this also.
What?
With the taking an aimed shot across the board with any weapon, you'll get a plus 2.
Oh, okay.
So that's for if you're taking an aimed shot. If you're just shooting normal, you get that bonus as well.
Okay, so +5 altogether.
Yeah, and is that with your weapon frenzy or with sniper? Because the sniper gives you another plus 2.
I couldn't tell you. I'd have to go through and add it all up again. There's so many different things that factor into my pluses that I'd have to go back and calculate it to make sure it's all right.
It says here. If you've already calculated it, I'll just take your word at it.
I
So-
don't take my word at it.
Well, I'm not going to go through all your skills right now. Add +2 to that. So you have +5, +2 because of the aimed.
Okay.
So you have a +7 to strike
Sweet.
when you're sniping.
So that's a total of 16.
Okay, so that because of the range and it's a called shot, you need to get over a 12 to at least hit it. You did hit it and you did damage to the deck. You don't know if you did any damage to the engine though. Go ahead and roll damage.
It would just be 1 damage dice. I don't understand how the long guns has a rate of 5, but that's as many as I can shoot in a round, right?
A rate of 5. You're talking about rounds in the clip? Your rate of fire is equal to your number of hand-to-hand attacks.
Oh, is it? So that should change every time I go up in number of hand-to-hand attacks.
Yes. We also might have only 5 rounds to a clip. You might have 5 shots and then you have to reload.
No, my payload on the long gun is 50/25. I don't know the difference. Oh, my extended clips are 50.
Okay, so to answer your question about the blasts, I was right. So there's a single blast that does 1d6, double pulse does 2d6, triples 3d6, quadruples 4d6, and maximum is 5d6. It's still counted as one attack. It's just different damage ranges for the reason that I was saying. So you don't do collateral damage.
Oh, okay.
Rate of fire standard, so it means as fast as you can pull the trigger. And you get a bonus to +1 to strike on aimed shots because all Wilkes guns get that.
+5 for aim shots, you said?
You get a +1. All Wilkes
+1.
guns are made with that accuracy quality.
Anywho, damage. I probably would have done the 5 because I don't know how beefy this ship is right now.
Yeah, and it's safe to assume that it's probably a mega damage ship.
Yeah, and since I'm going down at an angle into the water, I'm not really concerned with a lot of collateral damage.
Right. You might hit a dinosaur fish, but that's okay.
Yeah. 11.
You know, we do have more than 1d6.
I'm aware.
Okay. All right. That's just making sure it is.
11 mega damage.
All right.
Take it.
The deck does take it. So 2 flashes of light fly by. One just completely misses and flies over the ship, but the other one burns a hole into the deck. And the rest of the pirates you see take cover. There are kind of like uprights along the ship, and it looks like the deck of the ship is made for like ship to ship combat. So there's enough of uprights along the edges of the ship for them to take cover behind, it's going to make it quite a bit harder to hit them as such. As they're taking cover for their attacks, you hear over the radio, Ash, come in. It's Kimmel.
Here, Kimmel. What do you need?
We've been boarded by some demon fish drone thing.
Headed back, but there's pirates headed this way as well.
No reply.
Zoom, zoom.
And that is where we'll stop this episode. Hey, Denata here to do my part and see you off after the episode. We appreciate you for staying tuned and listening to episode 2 of this 3-part mini arc. We'll appreciate you for sticking around to the end of the episode, especially little guy Jimmy. He can get emotional if people ignore him sometimes, on account of his size. Anyways, please follow us on your various social media platforms, rate us and review us, and stay tuned for the next Epea coming out May 11th. Voices you heard tonight were as follows. Nicole played Ash, the power-armored Merc, and the boss GM was Tony Spangler. See you next time you're docking.